to get all your miniatures painted fast, quick and easy. There are so many different streams that do really fantastic paint work, but what I'm trying to show you is a way to get your miniatures done to play on your tabletop, because I have so many miniatures, so speed painting is my way of doing things. But other than that, let's make a start. Now I've got some purple scorpions because my little Claire said I want purple, so we got purple, we got some red ones, green, we got the blues, silver and copper or bronze, browns, and I don't know what colour that would be called, manky yellow. So I hope everybody's all well. I see there's lots of you having a chat away there. So what I'm going to start doing first is getting my paints on my palette, and I think we'll start with the red scorpions first. And all we're doing for that is putting some red onto our palette, and I'm going to use some bleached linen as my white. It's more of a creamy white. Sometimes using bright white can be a little bit too much when you're mixing it with your colours. I don't want them ultra bright. Yes, you do, my lovely. And we've just been using a pokey stick. Claire was telling, hi Tal, how you doing? And hello to everybody else as well. I'm sorry, I'm being very rude. I see Hamish is in the chat there, Tommy, Michelle, Scottish Andy, all the awesome people, all my lovely little goblins. I just wanted to say as well, we've reached 150 followers now on our channel, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've only been doing it, it's not even 2 weeks yet, so I'm really happy how things are going. Okay, let me see if I can get the scorpions in focus now that you see. It's just a simple paint today. What we're going to be doing is highlighting each of these scorpions, and then I'm going to show you the ink washes I'll use for each scorpion. So what we're doing, getting that red onto my tissue, adding a bit of that yummy white just to lighten it up. And as you can see, like I tell you in my dragons, you're going against the scales. It's the same with the scorpions, so we're going down and around and just following those areas of the scorpion, and instantly you have your shade, your highlight, sorry, shade. I'm just going over the scorpion nice and quickly. What it is, there's so many ways you can paint your miniatures. You can spend hours and hours on a miniature, and there's nothing wrong in that, but I'm trying to get it so I can get a whole army done and play games. Years ago I would have had time to spend hours and hours on one miniature, but now no way. See, that's given a lovely effect there. And we'll just go quickly, we'll just quickly blast through these, and you can all get an idea of how easy it is, and just flying through the paint, like I say, against the scales, or the armour, should I say, scorpion armour. What I'll do in this episode is we'll get all the main shades and highlights onto our miniature, and then on our next show I'll show you all the detailing, the quick detailing, and we'll do wet blending on each of the claws, because wet blending works really well on these. You can start off with a nice dark colour on the front or light, and you can work your way up. And I'll especially do that with the purple because it'll work really well. So I'll spend a little bit more time on Scorpla's purple scorpion because I love her. while I'm painting these, I don't know if is Carlos in chat. Anyway, Carlos Berlitz, I hope I said your second name correctly. He is another patron of mine who is a very, very clever wee goblin, and he also writes and does little scenarios for your D&D games. And he's just wrote a little game called Keep On Rowing, and it's GMless games. You don't, no DM needed, and hopefully if he's in chat, or we can add a link. But what I'll do is I'm going to add a link to the video, and when I upload it to YouTube, you'll be able to see all the links to everybody. Anyway, what my point is, if you check out his work, and just give him a shout out, because these guys work so hard. I mean, same as James McCoy. James McCoy is still doing his Kickstarter, and they, I mean, I haven't got the intelligence to write these scenarios and things like they do, and it's amazing when you see these guys and what they write up, and the stories and the games. And Carlos, I've been talking to Carlos, and I like to have solo play games, especially when you're in the house. So if I can get some D&D games in, like a little solo campaign going, where I can just play with my miniatures when Claire's not around or whatever, more the merrier, because most of the board games I buy, you'll find that 90% of all my board games I'll only buy if it says 1 to 5 players, which means you can play it solo. So having a solo game for me is very important, especially with this social distancing where you're stuck in the house most of the time. Okay, let's move on to the next colour. So yes, please give Carlos a little shout out if you take a look at his work. He is amazing. You'll have to excuse me touching my face because I am sweating like a little piggy again today in my workshop, so I'm trying to stop all the sweat coming now. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Like I say, it's very simply done. All we're doing, that's just 2 tones of colours, and we'll add an ink wash to that, because today I just want to show you what ink washes I use and how simple it is to get this all painted up really fast and get to a stage where you got to the ink washes, and then, like I say, on the next show we'll go into the highlighting and the rest on these miniatures, and we should get them all done in 2 shows, so we're talking 2 hours. Okay, let's go on to the greens. And for the green, again, I am going to use maggot white for this one, for my white. And I'm just having a tiny bit of maggot white, just there. And I'm going straight with the cat's eye green. It might be a little bit too green, but it's not a problem because we are going over this with an ink wash. And what's fantastic about ink washes, it tones down the colours and really works well to cover any mistakes you make as well. And this is the beauty of miniature painting. If you know how to use your ink washes correctly, you can actually make quite a few mistakes, and those ink washes can cover them up nicely, and you'll be surprised what you can get away with. I mean, this show is all about hints and tips, how to speed up your painting and get your armies ready for that tabletop, and still keep a bit of tabletop quality goodness to all your minis, because we all want nice looking minis, of course. Nobody wants manky looking minis on their tabletop. With these miniatures, you've probably noticed I'm just doing the tops, and the reason I've painted the bottoms as well green, but because I'm going to be sticking them to a 2 or 3 inch base, there's no need to do the underbelly of these miniatures. What we'll concentrate on is we'll be sticking a 2 or 3 inch base boss base under our scorpions, and they'll all be with rocks so you're not going to see your miniature undercarriage. And this is another key when painting miniatures. There's no point painting all the parts you're not going to see with the naked eye. Hello Corey, how are you doing? I can hear my dog in the background. She's on the prowl. Every time I start my stream, I kind of knows that she goes for a little you-know-what after the stream. So she's like waiting for me outside the door there. She'll start barking in a minute. I gotta be careful I don't say the W-A-L-K word. What I thought I'd do as well today, I mean, we've got some nice little silver and the bronze copper and the blues. So you've got your tech dinos, as I call it, from Mark. So we got our normal versions, and then we have the metallic versions, which you can do for your custom games, or you could actually use these ones in like a sci-fi scenario, you know, the blue. And the same with these ones, or you could steampunk. I mean, me and Claire, we absolutely love steampunk. Carlos was. Oh, you've done it. I was just saying, oh, there's Carlos. He's already put the link up. So if you can all check out Carlos and his link, he's a fantastic guy, and you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. And supporting people like Carlos is just something I love doing, because he deserves all the love and respect that my goblins can give him. Okay, I'm washing my brush now. Take off all that nasty paint. Don't want to mix these up too much. Right then, so what we've got here, we've got the red ones done. And we got the green ones done. Okay, and brown ones there, purple ones. We'll do the purple ones a bit later. Let's move on to the... Let's go straight on to our brown ones then. Ah, thank you, Michelle. Okay, so actually we'll go straight to the purple ones. I'll try and get the basic colours done first. So for the purple ones, I'm using the Witchcraft Purple. Now, some of you might see it, this is like a different bottle to my normal MSP. Now, this is MSP HD paints. Thank you, Farting Shrimp. Okay, I'm sorry I'm laughing at your name, but that is funny. You're probably unsubscribing instantly now I just said that. Okay, what I was going to say was, there's two different paints here. When you see MSP HD on your bottle, I don't know if you can see that. There you go, HD. That means it's usable for your airbrush. What it is with the ordinary MSP core colours is a thicker paint. The HD range, where it's got the HD on the bottle, that means you're able to use it directly in your airbrush. But saying that, even when I use my airbrush, I'll still add a couple of drops of Vallejo thinner to these paints, just to be on the safe side. And once again, we're going straight into our purple. And all we're doing, I mean, all I'm doing on all these miniatures, I'm just adding a little hint of white. In my case, I'm using a little bit of bleached linen, which is just off-white, more of a cream colour. And it's just to highlight, give it a little bit more light to the colour, as you can see from my difference on the purple. And again, we just go along, and thank you for following. I shouldn't really be shouting thank you for following. You can, I mean, you can still hear me the same, can't you? Oh, we got a raid. Yeah, so what we got here is we're just going over the scorpions, nice, quickly and easy with a lighter shade. Hello everybody, it's absolutely beautiful to see you all. Raided. Yeah, so I'll just carry on, because I've only got an hour, and I'm trying to get all these done. So we're just going over the purple scorpions this time, and we're just adding a lighter tone to each of the scorpions along the armour of the scorpion, and we're doing this to the pinks and purples. Wow. I'm trying to speed paint, guys. So we're just going super fast over our scorpions, and we're just going through the two tones, and then what we'll be doing is our ink washes. And as you can see, I've done most of the scorpions already. We're just going through your basic colours today, and like I say, I'm just going to wash my brush again. Thank you for following, everybody. Wow. Okay, I'm going to carry on. Now we're going to move to our tech scorpions, as I call them. Tech scorpions are going to have just a silver highlight, and the same with the bronze. They'll just have a silver highlight, and they'll be dry brushed over the whole miniature. So we have some silver here, and we'll just give that a little shake, and straight onto our palette. Again, with our large brush, we're taking the paint off on our tissue, going straight onto our miniatures. Now this is a fantastic way to get a really nice robotic tech look to your scorpions if you wanted to use them in a sci-fi scenario. And it's really fast and easy, and we're just going directly over that metal, and you get an instant metal effect, and it just works so well. Wow, thank you all for following and subscribing. It's really, really kind of you all, and everybody knows how much I love painting Reaper miniatures, as you can see. If you're following my channel, or you're new to following my channel is all about speed painting, and it's about getting your miniatures to a tabletop standard ready for gaming. As you all know, Reaper miniatures have amazing pro painters, so my aim is to do miniatures to a tabletop standard for gaming, and doing lots of miniatures so we can play with our miniatures and just enjoy what we're doing. Most of us just haven't got the time to paint all our miniatures to a showcase standard, and that's my ambition, is to get all my Reaper miniatures painted, and I got thousands, so I can't spend hours on each miniature, but I try my best to get them done to a standard where they'll look fantastic on the tabletop, because it's all down to gaming for me. And as you can see, just doing simple little work on your miniatures just makes them pop ready for your tabletop. No, Carlos, I won't. I don't think I will ever finish all my Reaper miniatures, but I'll have a good bash at it. So that's on the metallic blue. And now we'll go to the bronze. And again, it's the same thing with the bronze. Let's get a bit more pink on that palette. And the metallic again works fantastic on bronze as well. So we're just going back onto our tissue, taking off that excess, and we're just flying along. But it just highlights all those areas, and this is perfect if you love steampunk. I don't know if any of you have painted the Reaper Miniatures Clockwork Dragon, but that is an amazing steampunk miniature. I've painted it quite a few times now, and I know it's one of Claire's favourites, and she gets really upset every time I give it away. But just by adding that little bit of silver, it really pops and it looks fantastic. And once I've done all these, I will be adding ink washes to everything, and then once that ink wash is dried, that's when all the highlighting comes in, and the highlighting is very simple as well. But that will be for the next show, because we've got quite a bit to get through today. I said my streams are an hour long. I don't like to do more than an hour, because my little brain box can handle about an hour tops. I find every time I don't know if you're the same out there, if you play D&D like I do, you do a 3-hour session on Dungeons and Dragons, and the following day I'm exhausted. I am absolutely exhausted. My brain is like, it's just so tired. And it's the same with doing streams. You're concentrating so hard on what you're doing, plus you're in front of a live audience. It really is not easy. I'm enjoying myself, but I'm so tired afterwards. I take my little puppy for a walk and relax, and it's lovely. Yes, social media is so difficult. I find it really is tiring. But sometimes we have to keep pushing ourselves. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So we've got the bronze, we've got the blue metallics. Now with the silver, the silver is almost the easiest one to do. The silver, all we need to do with the silver is we're going to cover all that in a black ink wash, and the work comes afterwards. It's only these ones we're doing first with that just basic highlight, and then the ink wash goes over. But with the silver one, you just need a black ink wash, and we will then, after the black ink wash is dried, we go back over with our silvers and anything else that we need. Right, we've got one of these and two of these and one of the old yellows. So this will be brown, and we're going to highlight with some bleached linen again. Let's get that on my palette. Oh, some bleached linen. And once again, I'm just going to go over these scorpions. Super simple and easy. I'm just going to add some of this brown onto my tissue. I'm going and add some of that bleach linen and lighten up that brown. A bit more. Super fast and easy. And then we're going straight over the scorpion. And this will just highlight each of the armor plating on the scorpion. And once you've added all your ink washes, it all blends in really fast and really well. It's really a simple thing to do. And like I say, I'll do wet blending on all the claws. So what we're working on really is just getting that body looking acceptable for the tabletop. There we go. A little bit out of focus there, aren't I? Now then, let's go back onto this one. I'm going to add a bit of that green onto this and just highlight with a bit more. Is any red left on there? No, there's not. I have to get a bit of red out. Come on in, a bit of red. There you go. Right, I'm just mixing in a little bit of red and that brown, and just this is for this highlight on this one. There you go, that's lovely. Like I say, I don't do the underside. There's no point spending more time than you have to on a miniature if you're not going to see it. And what I'm talking about is there's no point me painting the underneath of the miniature because I'm going to be sticking it onto a base boss base. So you're not going to see it, and it's just making more work for yourself when you don't need to. Take care, Michelle. Let me just drink some water because in Scotland today, again, it's super hot. It's very humid. We need a really good thunderstorm. Hello, Mr. McCoy. How are you doing? Scry and I. Most of my scorpions, what you'll see on most of my shows, is these are for my patrons. Some will be for me. I always paint enough that I get a couple because that just wouldn't be fair. But most of these are for my patrons, rewards. So it's mainly to get the job done for all my goblins and my patron. So yeah, but again, it is for gaming because I've probably got 6 or 7 of these for my own personal collection. But I just find it's a lot easier to actually show everybody what I'm doing, and it makes it more fun. Okie dokie then, let's go on to the next one. Right, so we've got most of these colours on now, and they are dry. Now we started with the red, so the main thing to do now is start adding our ink washes. Now the ink washes for each of these miniatures is very simple. We'll be using a black ink wash. We've got Nuln Oil by Games Workshop, and that'll be for the red, and it'll also be for the silver. We have Classic Purple Wash. This is one from my classic collection from Games Workshop, and this will be used for my purple scorpions. We have got an old classic green ink wash, but we're going to be going for browns. In fact, most of them, especially the bronze, the brown will work with the bronze. If you're ever doing gold and you want an ink wash for your gold, it's brown ink wash is what brings it out and gives it that lovely rustic feel. The metal, of course, will be black. Same with the blue. We're going for a black ink wash. And the browns, of course, quite simply, there's going to be a brown ink wash. So let myself get set up here. Mr. McCoy used to work for Games Workshop. Was you working for Games Workshop when they were doing these old pots, or was it after these ones? Yeah, I was going to say I think I was collecting these back late 80s, early 90s. I think that was about the time. But yeah, I do love the old paints. They're much better than the new ones, I find. Okay, let me just start adding some washes, and you'll see how quickly and effective everything looks. I'm going to add some kitchen towel to my tabletop there, so we don't make too much of a mess, because we all know how messy ink wash is. There we go. And I need my little, thank you for following, I need my little ink pot holder. There we are. Lanky ink pot holder. Right, we're not going with that one first. We are going for the browns. Oh, no, the reds. We'll go for the reds. Now for the reds, we are going to be going straight with black. In fact, what I'll do is I'll show you one in black and I'll show you one in brown, and we'll get the idea of what's going on. So just got a large brush. Let me see if I can get you in a bit closer. There we go. Remember to have your cotton buds ready. We're just going over the main body for now, and let all the ink go into the recesses of the body. And once again, I am not going to be doing the bottom of the miniature, and this is just the beginning of the scorpions. I mean, we still have all the highlighting and detailing to do. This is just to get your basic start on the body of the miniature. It's just to give you an idea how the detailing will work for that black ink wash. And what we do is I have a whole tub of cotton buds here, and what we do is just remove any excess with the cotton buds. Makes it really fast and simple. So any excess on your ink, just take off the cotton bud, and you can see the difference straight away. I mean, the details are already starting to pop because that black is going into all the recesses and giving the instant shading. Now let's do it with the brown, so you can see what the difference is with brown. We've got some Agrax Earth shade. Give it a little shake, because with ink washes the pigments can sink to the bottom very fast, and if you don't, you'll end up with a gooey brown sticky mess at the bottom of your bottles. Now the brown is roughly looking about the same on this red, but I want to show you it on the bronze, because the bronze, it really works super well. We just go over the main body like so. Again, I wash my brush after each use. That's just habit, but it's always good to wash your brushes as much as possible. I always keep 3 or 4 pots of water on my tabletop whenever I'm working, and if you're working with metallics, I use different pots of water for each metallic I use, because metallic pigments float on top of the water and they get passed on to each miniature otherwise, and you'll end up with flakes of gold and silver and bronze on your nicely painted miniatures when you don't want them. So if you keep all your pots separate, it works very well that way. Okay, let me show you this one on the bronze and copper, and this works really well. Like I say, it gives a really beautiful steampunk look when you add a brown ink wash to gold or bronze, copper. You can also take the ink off with your brush just by taking the side off, and you can just get rid of any excess ink on your miniatures. And once again, it's a really quick but effective way. I mean, I love that. That's beautiful. We just take away any excess. I mean, you can go as far as you want painting miniatures. I mean, these will all be added to a lovely base, and it just depends on how far you want to go and how much time you have. Okay. Hello, Tule. How are you? It's lovely to see you. Okay, let's get onto this purple now, and we're going to use this old 80s 90s ink wash. Now, purple is a fantastic colour, and this is a very dark purple, so it's going to dramatically change the way this miniature looks. Certain ink washes have certain uses that can even make or actually ruin a miniature, so it's quite important to test your miniature with all the different ink washes and see what works for you. This ink wash is a beautiful ink wash. It's old. You can still pick it up on eBay if you're lucky, but it gives an absolutely stunning effect to your miniatures. Like I said, I'm just showing you the bodies for now. There we go. See how lovely that is? It's beautiful. And it works really well for your scorpions as well. So we're going to quickly just do this one in purple. Being careful not to knock the pot over. Just a simple ink wash, but it works fantastic for your miniatures. There we are, that's that one. Right, then we go back onto the brown. Now this brown will work fantastic on this miniature. Hi Tim, how you doing? Thank you, Tim. Tim is a fantastic guy, and I'm not saying that because he's just subscribed. But if anybody doesn't know already or has been doing the Frandrel and Friends on Twitter, Tim is the guy who's done it all on the Twitter for the community. He has been a friend of mine for quite a few years now, and he has entered loads of the competitions I've done on Twitter, and he's actually won a few of the competitions, I think. He is a supporter of the community and just a generally nice guy, and he supports all miniature painters and all companies. He is the enabler. He is the guy who gets you to buy Kickstarters you don't need. But we all love him in the Goblin Army. All my goblins love him. He's a great guy. There we are. So as you can see, the brown works super well on scorpions, and it looks fantastic on a lighter brown. Oh, hello, Red Wolf. I played D&D with Red Wolf. In fact, I played Dungeons and Dragons with Red Wolf, Scorpler. I've played Dungeons and Dragons with Tim, who I just mentioned. I've played Dungeons and Dragons with Philippe, Michelle, Tule. Who else is online that I've played Dungeons and Dragons with? Anybody? We got our adventuring party here. And Baldur's Gate's coming up soon. I'm looking forward to that game, eh? I mean, that's a PC game, I know, but it's still D&D in a way, eh? Okay, where are we? Let's have a look. Let me just drink some more water before I shrivel up. Yeah, Tim. Okay, let's move on. Where are we getting on to? Oh, let me show you how my two-headed troll's coming on. Can you all see that? I got little piggies almost done now, and I've added some bits to the base. I've got some flocking to the base and stuff in his eyes. So this was done in the last stream, and it's really becoming a really nice piece. I really do like the two-headed troll by Reapermini. Little piggy. On the last stream, I was showing how to do basic eyes, teeth. Everything I do is to try and help beginners, really, and advanced people. I mean, it all depends how you want to paint. If you're looking for something to help you along, or just a simple way of little hints and tips to do things, then following what I'm doing will help you. I can't guarantee it'll make you a better painter, but it does help you get your miniatures painted for the tabletop. And it's also nice to chat to you all while I'm painting. Okay. Right, the silver. No, the silver is super simple. Now, we could have done the scorpions in two ways using silver. We could have painted it totally in black and then just dry brushed silver over the whole miniature. And you can use that for armor as well. All you're doing is you paint all your miniature black, cover it in silver, dry brush it, and you've got instant armor. But for today, I wanted to show you the ink washes and how they work. So again, this is the black ink wash, and it works in the same way as you do if you dry brushed, but with the reverse effect. So again, we're going over the whole of the armor with our black, and it does give it an instant really beautiful look to that metal. If I can get it in the picture. There you go, Mikey. Very simple thing. Let it go into all the recesses. And once again, if you have any excess, you just take that off with a cotton bud, or you just clean your brush and you just use the tip of your brush and it will suck up any pooling of ink on your miniatures. Okay, let's get this one done. Okay, right, we've just got the green ones to do now, I think. I can't see, have I missed any? One or two there. I haven't done that one over there. Okay, better do this one. You lose track of what I'm doing. I've got so many scorpions here. Simple. Once all these have dried, that's when we go back and do our highlighting and adding in all the simple little details. Unfortunately, there's no way these will all be dry before I end the stream, but we can carry on and getting the ink washes done, that's for sure. Right, I will be doing the green ones now, and for the green we'll be going back to a brown ink wash. Oh, how many pots of wash do I go through a month? I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe 8. I mean, averaging a lot of miniatures every month, aren't I? Plus I'm doing dioramas and stuff. But yeah, definitely about 8 pots of wash. That'll be black and brown. Okay, back to the brown. I think I showed you. Did I show? I showed you my wall of old paints last time. Let me just. My wall of paints of Games Workshop paints, the old 90s up there. Look. So you got all the original core set colours. Plus I've got all the ink washes and all the glazes, all the Games Workshop complete collection from the 80s and 90s. Some are even still sealed. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Hello, Mighty Lancer Games. I didn't even see you there. Okay, I'm going to give a shout out to Mighty Lancer Games because I want to, and I like them very much. Mighty Lancer Games is a toy shop. Mighty Lancer Games is a miniature shop in the UK, and they do all Games Workshop, Reaper miniatures, Wiz Kids miniatures, Mantic, everything you could possibly imagine. And they are a fantastic shop, and they have been my friends for years and years and years and years and years. If you become a patron, you also get 10% off all their products from their shop, and highly recommend. I'm sorry calling it a toy shop, but it is. It's big boys' toys. So yeah, Mighty Lancer Games. I think they're down below on my Twitch channel, so you can go check out their shop. They sell loads of fantastic things, and they're really good price, absolutely awesome prices. Yeah, that's right. You sell those little fluffy pokey. That was up. Yeah, was it Big Bird you had outside your shop? That yellow thing. What was that? It was a Pokemon or something, wasn't it? If you're new to the channel, welcome and thank you for following. It's an honour to have so many people wanting to join and watch what I'm doing. But what you'll find is a lot of the chat is the Goblin Army. The Goblin Army is a community of miniature painters that are my patrons. But we've got our own little community of painting and discussing things. We have professional painters like Gorilla Brush on my Patreon, and he helps people with anything to do with questions to do with painting. He is an absolute legend. My Discord channel is a private Discord channel, mainly because what we find is social media can be a bit overwhelming, so having it private is nice because we all know each other. Even though we live all around the world, it's nice to be in a private chat where you don't have to worry about scumbags. You don't have to worry about people jumping in and being quite rude. Social media can be very difficult. So it's nice to have somewhere you can go. A bit like Cheers, isn't it? Where everybody knows your name. That's my singing for the day. I know, I shouldn't have said scumbag, should I? That's horrid. But you do, though. You always have one or two people that can be OTT, and it's not nice. I mean, we all try our best, and it's never nice when somebody puts you down or is nasty. So we all need friends. We all need somewhere we can go. I mean, I want my channel to be friendly to everybody, and I just want people to enjoy themselves and feel comfortable on my channel. So. Muse's touch. I'm going to call you Torch again, aren't I? Muse's touch. Muse's touch. She's a lovely lady. Muse's touch is going to be painting with me soon, and so is a few other people here. I think Tim's going to be painting with me. I've got Philippe. I think Andy is going to be painting with me. So there's a few people that I'm going to start bringing onto the stream and YouTube, and we're going to have a paint along, and that'll be awesome because we can talk about painting, and these are all people I know really well. Well, been in the Goblin Army for a long time, and it'll be fantastic to paint with them. So I thought I'd bring them on the show, and we can have a good time. Yeah, so I got quite a list of people who want to have a little paint with the Goblin King, so I'm really happy about that. Okay, what have I missed? That one's done. Oh, I missed one. So this will be brown as well. To be honest, you can use. There's so many different ink washes, but your go-to ink washes are going to be your browns and your blacks. And they are so simple to use, but they enhance your miniatures so much. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it. And it saves so much time as well. I mean, once this is dry, I can just give it a highlight, and that body will be done. There we go. We've got a red one there. Let's try that one in brown as well. Oh, there. Tim and Muse's Touch, we'll have a chat later. I'll give you links to all the cameras and setups you can use. I'll link you both to all the simplest things you can use to start up your cameras for chatting on Zoom and for our meetings. So don't worry about that. I'll give you links for everything you need. And don't worry if you haven't got the best setup. I mean, we all start somewhere. I mean, I'm still using old webcams. I need to upgrade mine, but it's going to take a while. I mean, none of this stuff is cheap, and everything. Technology goes so fast; it's hard to keep up with it. I mean, I had my computer 3-4 years ago, and already it's out of date with the graphics card. It's crazy. I can't keep up with modern technology. Believe me, I can't. Yeah, Tim, please don't be worried about the quality of your webcam. The fact that you'll be there is the main thing. So don't worry about that. I'm sure we'll sort something out. Oh, it's so hot. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. I don't know how the Zoom meeting will work because I don't think you could have multiple cameras. It'll just be me and you talking, painting at the same time. Okay, well, I wanted to do a bit more painting today, but we're reaching to the end of our hour. An hour is more than my little brain can handle doing these shows. I need to kind of relax because it does take a lot out of you doing just an hour show. But what we're going to be doing in the next show is we'll be carrying on with the Scorpions, and I'll be showing you all the different ways to quickly highlight and do the eyes, and we'll be adding those base boss bases, and that's where the real fun begins, because once you've added a base to a miniature, it just boom, it looks fantastic. So we'll be using either 2-inch or 3-inch base boss bases, nice sandy base, and then we'll really go to town on these Scorpions, and they will look fantastic. I'm glad. Once again, thank you everybody who has joined this stream. It is absolutely fantastic. I am new to this, so please bear with me. This is only my second week, and it's nerve-wracking, but I'm getting there. And of each show I'm doing, it's making me a little bit more confidence. Thank you, Gerald. My streams are every Tuesday. I can't remember now. My streams are every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and all at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock UK time. And I'm also going to be doing one stream a week on Sunday at 3 o'clock UK time, and that'll be a WizKids miniatures only stream. Because I do paint quite a bit of WizKids miniatures as well. Reaper are my number one, and then I do my WizKids. So there's no conflict in the shows. So there we are. Thank you everybody so much for joining me. It's been fantastic. And I hope I see you all again in my next stream. If you have questions, you can always chat on stream, and you can get in touch with me on my Twitter. My Twitter should be below. You'll see that I'm quite busy on Twitter as well. And if you know anybody in the chat, like Tim, Tim does his community paint on Twitter, then give him a follow, because he does something very special on Twitter, which is very popular. So there we are. I want to say love to everybody, and thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.